Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us for episode 31 of Intercoin to Play. I am your host, Greg. With me, as always, is Ariel
Yep.
and Cheech.
What's going on, guys?
So, we got too many games on our hand and too little time, so we haven't done any podcasts. It's just the way it is, unfortunately.
It's the year dreams, Greg. The year dreams.
It is the year. I mean, every month there's been a really good game.
Goddamn you, Sonny.
Yeah, I know. What was our last podcast? I think was the middle of January. So since then, I know Cheech has played Gravity Rush 2.
Yeah.
I've picked up Yakuza 0. Ariel picked up Yakuza 0. Both of you picked up Kingdom Hearts 2.8. Let's see what else came. We have Neo, Halo Wars 2, which Halo Wars 2
that was good.
Yeah, Halo Wars 2 is a good game, but best played on a PC.
And even then, it doesn't feel like a really proper RTS.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear going through the storyline actually is pretty good.
Well, I think it's more so like an RTS light. I think Cheech brought up that point at some point, but kind of RTS light for Halo fans,
Yeah, and I mean the regular Halo Wars wasn't too bad. I mean, after playing so many other games RTS on those consoles compared to PC, you really can't match them because on PC, it destroys them.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like first-person shooters. I played Command and Conquer on the Xbox 360, even though I had it for PC. But I did it because
I still like the fact that they went ahead on their reviews and be like the best RTS on a console. I'm like, well, no shit. I mean, it's like the only one.
That's what I was gonna say.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I think they should have taken the approach of partnering up with Firaxis instead and making it more of like the XCOM sort of game. I think that might have worked better, both on console and just in general. Where it's like individual squad-based gameplay instead of like a full-out, trying to tackle that RTS sort of feel.
Didn't they have I'm trying to remember now. Wasn't Xbox saying that they were gonna slowly support mouse and keyboard? Was it not one of the features?
Oh, for console, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the features, but
They should have released it when that game came out. That would have made it so much better. Well, what else? Neo is a really great game. Ariel's been playing that. Cheech, you passed on that one, right?
what, Neo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I passed on that.
Greg finished it.
I finished it.
Not my cup of tea.
I'm slowly finishing all my games, which makes the next couple months even more terrible. But yeah, none of us got deported, which is a good thing also. So this year is still starting off awesome. Oh, and Horizon and the Switch came out, which two games we'll probably be talking about a lot during this podcast. But since we are gamers, we're gonna jump into one of the new cards that's actually releasing really soon, or it might be out even by the time
tomorrow. Now,
yeah, by the time we release this podcast, which is the GTX 1080 Ti, which Ariel's really excited to get this one.
I mean, excited because it's an upgrade, but not excited. I think I got too hung up on the idea that it performs better than the GTX Titan Pascal, and I'm like, how much better, guys? It's fucking barely any better, man. We're still looking at the same sort of restrictions in terms of 4K 60, or trying to achieve that 4K 60 experience. But yeah, I'm excited enough, I guess.
But I mean, that's not too bad considering that the Titan itself is a $1,200 card, and this one is.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? Price to performance is fantastic. It's just not what I want. I mean, you could get two of them and then you're good to go. But I'm not an advocate for SLI. I mean, after the one time I went SLI, I was like, I'm never doing this again because it's hit or miss, man.
It is hit or miss. With the 780 TIs that I have, most games they work pretty well. But there were some games where it was just like sluggish and I had to wait for Nvidia.
Or where they just don't even support it. So it's like, wow, I have a completely useless card right now.
It's not supported until Nvidia patches it, so that's another thing. But it's not until it's patched where it's like, ugh.
You know what's still supported, guys? My Xbox 360 and PS3.
Did you trade those in?
No, it's still alive.
Oh, okay.
It's still here. Yeah, okay. PS3, I actually... Yeah, PS3 I got rid of. The 360 I still have.
You know, I saw my PS. Actually, I bought a new PS3 a year ago because my backwards compatible one died, and I had a bunch of games that I actually wanted to play on it, like Puppeteer and Tales of Exilia 1 and 2, Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and yeah, they're still on the backlog. They're just fucking sitting there. It's just terrible. just like every other game that I have.
The struggle.
The struggle. That's why we need your money to support us, whoever's listening to this. No, we don't need your money. We work. And that's the problem. We work for games, but don't have time to play all the games.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's funny, though, how like everything sort of comes full circle to an extent. It's like, as you're younger, you're like, man, I want a job so I could buy my games. Then you get a job so you could buy your games, but now you can't play your games.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yep.
And then you start paying for things that you don't need, like taxes. And rent. Or, sorry, not that you don't need, that you don't want to pay.
Yeah.
You kind of need a house or an apartment to live in and electricity.
Yeah.
So GTX, I would say, well, right now it can do 4K 60 FPS, but you do have to sacrifice some settings, right? That's what.
Yeah, it's more so game dependent. I mean, the games that you would expect to kind of not hit that mark are not, or you have to, like you said, make some compromises in your settings. I guess so long as you're okay with that, you should have no problems with it. You're still looking at about an average of 60 on something like The Witcher, and that's where Hairworks off. I like my Hairworks. I know Cheech always shits on it, but I like it.
You like it on?
I play with it on.
Oh man, that fucking.
Because my thing is, my thing is, right. It's not so much Geralt's hair. It's everything else. Like all the other creatures. Once you take Hairworks off, I'm like, all the detail just left. What just happened? Especially like, the griffin or anything like that, where you just see all that detail disappear, and I'm like, oh no. So I played with it on. Luckily, I mean, considering I was playing on 1080, and I reduced the anti-aliasing or the MSAA on the hair to, I think it was 4 times MSAA or something like that. It wasn't bad. It held. I mean, you would get your dips from time to time when you like got real close to the hair or whatever like that, but otherwise you were fine.
I thought you were gonna say you turned off shadows, because shadows usually kill everything also.
Shadows I had I think 1 notch down, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I needed my Hairworks on for that game at least.
Once you get your TI though, you're like,
it's the same thing. I feel like it's gonna be the same thing, just at a different resolution.
Man, Cheech, speaking of Witcher, did you play both of the expansions, or you just played just one of them?
What, Witcher?
Yeah.
Only one.
You only played one of them?
Yeah, I mean, now the PlayStation Pro boost came out, I might play the second one.
See, I was thinking about that. Like, if I can get it cheap for the PS4, like under 20, I probably might play it on the PS4.
Because I still had to replay I had the first expansion for the PS4, I just haven't played it. I did play it on the beat on PC. But now with the boost, I might just do that and then get that over with.
Has anyone here tested it? Did you test it yet, Cheech?
I tested with Final Fantasy already. The Final Fantasy 14, the MMO, and it's, at least on that game, it's a vast improvement. I can actually browse the CD without fucking like crawling.
So it smooths out the frame rate.
Yeah, it's running at least a solid, between 50 to 60 instead of like 60 to 20.
Oh, that's pretty good then. That's not too bad.
The funny thing is, right, when Boost Mode was first announced, And for those of you who are
Beast
unaware, with PS4 Pro, there or even regular PlayStation, it's just Pro or regular PlayStation also.
No, it's just Pro. It's
Just Pro.
Pro, yeah.
So it's gonna enhance I guess Pro enhanced games,
Yes.
as best as it could. And I'm 100% sure that a majority of the PlayStation 4 audience was immediately Bloodborne. You know, that's the game everybody wants to perform so much better. And based on the early testing, it doesn't seem like that was the case.
No, it's not. Yes, Bloodborne was I was watching YouTube videos. I was on NeoGAF and Reddit, and Bloodborne is the one game everyone was just like, "How does it perform?" And everyone was expecting like an FPS increase, but that's not what it's gonna do. It basically uses the extra resources, to stabilize the frame rates
as best it can. But even then, it was struggling a little. No,
not as bad. Like a lot of the videos that I've seen, where it was very noticeable, say it'll jump from 30 to about like 22, 25. A lot of them happened when the character was running next to there were some demons that were coming out from the ground, and when they ran past them, like there's all this particle effects that was happening, and then that would slow down the system. With the boost mode, this system dropped like 1-2 frames. It was a really big improvement compared to the non-boost mode. But it's just something you have to test out. But yeah, unfortunately that game won't have 60 frames per second unless From Software patches it. It would have to be a really hard patch to do that.
Yeah.
And not this boost mode upgrade. But a lot of games actually have seen improvements. Witcher's one of them, which Cheech was mentioning. Just Cause is another one. Batman Arkham City.
Arkham Knight?
Arkham Knight, yes. That one's been improved. And a few others, like Far Cry Primal and what's this other one? The Dying Light. So I'm excited to go through my backlog and try to play them after all these new games.
We need a quiet month or two, man.
It doesn't seem like it. That's the sad part.
Impossible.
Anything and everything is taking our money.
For real, man. This is a rough year. At the end of the year, it's going to be like, wow. It's 2017, man.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Today is the 9th. So, when does Mass Effect come out? 3 weeks from now? Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
So
it's the end of the month, right?
Yeah, it's the end of the month. So that comes out, I think, the 28th. Then right after that, we have Persona. And then in May, we have Prey, which I'm actually pretty excited for that one. Because it has that, like, System Shock / Bioshock
sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
The only thing that threw me off, though, was going from, in terms of Prey, from the reveal trailer that they initially showed to the end result. Where, to me, it looks more of like, I guess, a Bioshock or even a Dishonored.
Or Dishonored.
Yeah, like that sort of style, you know what I mean?
And Dishonored is a great game.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, in terms of its like aesthetic design, you know how it looks visually.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't expecting it to be that stylized. I thought it was gonna go for more of like the realistic approach, like they did in that trailer. So when I saw the actual gameplay, I'm like, what the fuck? Am I watching Dishonored right now? It was just a little bit off-putting because that's not what I was expecting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that based on the initial trailer alone.
Yeah. Oh, and excuse me, but it's actually in 2 weeks for Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Yeah. And then Cheech is getting that. He already has that reserved.
Yes.
So Cheech, you excited for it? Did you watch any of the trailers?
I've been keeping myself away from most of it, to be honest. But I'm scared of it. Oh, there goes the Pro Controller. That was the Switch Pro controller that is hard to find, guys. Sorry, broken. But I am scared of throwing it away just because of what happened to Mass Effect 3 and the amount of, I guess, pressure that they have on that game. Because, Mass Effect, it was a genre-defining goddamn game back then. Like, it did a lot of stuff, and now this is a new generation, and let's see what they can do with it. And I don't know. I'm trying to keep my expectation extremely low, so I'm not disappointed. I am excited, but I'm just trying to get it over my head.
Yeah.
But you know what? 3 wasn't bad. It was just the ending fucked up everything.
I don't think. See, I'm completely fine with the ending, and I love that entire game.
I thought the ending was okay. Like I was just like, all right, But there was a lot of things that they had to really address, which the free DLC was kind of good. Because you don't know what happened to all the aliens that were on Earth. They were all trapped there. There was no more. Spoilers. There was no more way gates, so they can transport out. So I remember watching this YouTube video where they do a cutscene of the end of the game, and they do like some Benny Hill music, and pretty much they put up pictures of each of the characters that was on your team, and put up like a little slide saying what they did after the war. But there's like Cheech was saying, there's a ton of pressure on them with this one coming in, and I know Ariel, you were having your concerns because of how late they were showing everything in terms of gameplay.
Yeah, just the way they were rolling out kind of like reveals, or just because normally a game goes through a certain phase. Not to say the way they're doing it is wrong or anything like that. It just seems odd for such a high-profile game to be so in the dark. I mean, there's more and more videos coming out now, so it seems like they're opening up. But they've just made some strange moves where it's like, why? Canceling the multiplayer beta. Okay, sure, but why?
That's true. They did cancel that, didn't they?
Like it's a beta. If there's problems, there's problems. Sure, fine. I don't know. I feel like there's this cloud hovering over this game, and I'm not sure what to make of it. Hopefully everything turns out fine though, because I love me some Mass Effect. But there's just something there that I feel like something's wrong with this game.
I feel your same sentiment. Like the rollout, like it was like a teaser here, and then they'll do, like behind the scenes after that, and even the teaser was like a picture. It wasn't anything full motion. I think the first time we had the full motion was it at the PlayStation event?
Yeah, the PlayStation recently. That was the end of last year.
Yeah, that's like December.
PlayStation Experience, I think it was.
Oh no! I think it was the reveal of the Pro. That was actually in September.
Oh yeah.
Because that's when they were started talking about the checkerboarding.
Yeah.
And
oh man, everything was just awful with that. Like thinking back on the first reveal of Mass Effect Andromeda, it was just a camera and people from the dev team talking about how great the new system is going to be and all that. I'm like, the fuck, you didn't even show the game. I don't know, man, but prove me wrong, BioWare.
Yeah.
I believe in you guys.
Yeah, it's not like Injustice 2, how they've been rolling that out with a new character every week. As much as I'm starting to hate WB and NetherRealm. Just because of the DLC practices. I mean,
that's another game where I'm like, yo, prove me wrong, man. Shit, I would love to play that game because I thought it was fun. It just needed work. It needed balancing. It needed a lot of things, and hopefully they get there. But judging by how they treated
PC,
that's fine.
It's not a... they desecrated your console.
Well, no, I don't think they're even gonna bother with PC anymore. NetherRealm, they're just like, yo, I don't know, but yeah, just the way they handle Mortal Kombat in itself, and not just Mortal Kombat, but also their other games. Mortal Kombat 9 and Justice on PC. It's all been shitty, man. So hopefully they could get it right.
Weren't they outsourcing those games a PC for like a third party was making it and converting it?
Yeah, but at the same time, the console version of those also had issues, especially when it came to net play. So, considering they're incorporating the new net play that they used with Mortal Kombat at Double XL
Mm.
into Injustice 2, I guess that should be fine. I guess what remains in that sense is how they're going to handle the actual game, because the game's always been too broken in terms of balance. You have, in the past, characters like Superman who could literally just stand back and beam away, beam away, beam away, and it's just like, what is this, man? I'm like, you can't
Get
get
over
in.
here.
You can't get in. So if they tune the balancing and get everything right, it should be fine.
Oh, so basically it's like Mortal Kombat 1, and I can just stay far away and do Liu Kang and keep on shooting the fireballs.
Like, it even happened in tournaments, man, where people were playing Superman and just playing keep away. Like, it was the most boring thing ever.
Until Sonic Fox came along
Yeah.
and whooped ass.
But even he reverts to the cheese, to the broken characters. Look at what he did most recently at EVO, where he ended up switching to Alien, who was known to be like a cheap-ass character, and he ended up winning because he switched to Alien from, what's his name?
Was he Aaron Black?
Aaron Black, there you go.
I liked Aaron Black.
Because he was having a hard time playing Aaron Black, and then he switched to Alien, and it was a wrap. So it's like things like that they need to work out. They need to focus on their balance, but because they're always thinking about the next game, and they don't focus enough time on the current game, it just goes to shit, man.
Injustice. I played Injustice for the storyline, and I really enjoyed that storyline of the first one. I'm just
that was really good.
I don't know. It's it's funny because I'm thinking about it and how they had the season passes. Yet we're doing the same thing with Street Fighter. But this is the thing with Street Fighter recently, after they patched after the whole year. Getting the fight money is pretty easy with the weekly quest. Some of them is go into story mode, load up a story, and that's it. You get 5,000 gold.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
you get a lot.
Yeah, it's just if you want to get the extra stuff like the extra colors or costume, where you might have to shell out real money, which is kind of like ugh. But you still get all the characters. You can get all the characters in Season 2 just by doing that. So, I'll give that a little slack. Plus, that game seems a little bit more steadily balanced, I would say.
Although Urian right now is questionable.
Well, they're supposed to be doing a new patch soon.
They are, yeah.
Like, I think they said, a week or two?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So let's
let's just say I know right now Cheech is in the background like, how the hell did we get to Street Fighter again?
I don't know. I'll let you guys talk about Street Fighter all day long. I'm playing Zelda Breath of the Wild on my desk right now. So good. You could do a Street Fighter podcast. It's so good.
All right, so yeah, in Street Fighter we have Kali.
I'll be here and talk about Overwatch.
I haven't played Overwatch recently. Me
neither.
We've been playing Heroes of the Storm, but that was before Zelda came out.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get to the meat of the conversation. First, we'll talk about the hardware. The Switch hardware. Cheech, I know you bring it everywhere, like I do. How does the hardware stand out?
I mean, I haven't dropped it yet, so I can't review that yet. Except for the Pro Controller that just dropped, and it's still standing.
Okay, good.
Still good. But, I mean, it's not bad. I had used it in the bus, and, the bus, you're all cramped up in there, and I've been playing Zelda in there. I mean, granted, my only complaint is that I sometimes forget my stop.
Did you
I
really?
Just keep playing. No, I was playing, and then I don't know where I decided to look up. I'm like, oh, shit, my stuff is next. I just completely forgot about it. And sometimes when I go to work, I just take it out for lunch and I just play it. So, I mean, it feels good. The only complaint I have, if anything, is like we're holding it. And this complaint kind of came up on a few review websites too. It's just the way the
triggers,
controllers are set. Not much of the controller, like the thumbsticks and whatnot. It's not really. It's not too friendly. It should be like the Switch. The Switch is perfect. I mean, not the Switch. The Wii U tablet. Yeah. Where both thumbsticks are up, and then you have, X, Y, or whatever it be, and then the analog on the bottom. Here you have one thumbstick up, and then one on the bottom, and then you have X, Y, B on top of the other one. Sometimes you have to literally let go of the stick so you can try to press the buttons. That's the only complaint I have of it. But in terms of like the Switch and the amazing possibilities you can come up with this thing, I love it. The screen looks amazing with the game. Even though it's 720p, the game looks actually crisp in there. Because you're not scaling anything, you just pixel by pixel. And it looks good. I mean, you basically have a full blown out console experience in the palm of your hands.
Funny thing about the screen, my boss was looking at it today. He goes, "Oh, that's a Retina screen." Like he was able to tell because he's IT, but before that he used to do photography, so he has a really good eye. And then he's a big Apple fan, so he knows how the Retina screens looks like on an iPad. Like after seeing it so many times. So when he actually saw the Switch, he goes, "That's a Retina screen." I was like, okay. I was wondering why the colors pop out so well in it. Like,
is it really Retina screen? I don't think so.
It's Retina based. Like it's Retina enough where, because the thing with Apple Retina, it's a term that they use, but it's supposed to be the way the pixels are created and for the screen is where they can have the colors a certain way. And looking at that game, when you're looking at the small screen, it actually does look really, really good. And I was just like, okay,
Oh, yeah, no, it looks fucking great.
No, it does look great on the handheld
on the
or tablet, whatever you want to call it.
And the only thing I do have a problem with the tablet mode, and it's not the controllers. The controllers, I'm actually okay with that. In terms of the button placement, it does feel, I want to say, a little flimsy. I'm scared that if I hold it in one hand in the wrong way, that I can actually like crack the plastic and it'll just like slip out of my hand. So that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about these little Joy-Cons. Is just the way it's set, because it's part metal and part plastic. The metal part's on the tablet, of course, but the Joy-Cons themselves are plastic, so those have an easier tendency to just snap off.
I haven't had any issues yet with the wireless, with the left wireless issues. Have you guys have any of that? I mean, I'm be fine. I've been holding that left and right, and I don't have any issues with it.
I used it on, I guess, tablet mode or whatever, out of its stock, once or twice just to test it. I didn't necessarily have any issues, like with the Joy-Cons off or anything like that, or any syncing issues.
Oh, I haven't taken it off my system at all.
No?
No, I left it on docked. Even when I go to work and I say I do the little tablet mode and I want to put it on my desk, I have my Pro controller. I tossed in my book bag and I just take it out.
You actually play with it.
I'm like, no, I'm not gonna.
That's amazing.
I'll tell you what, though, the Pro controller is required. I believe it's required.
No, it's required. It feels good.
It's really good.
It's a really well built controller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Cheech is crucifying me because he's saying it's better than the PS4 controller, which runs out of batteries quickly. Well,
I'm there, man.
And Ariel
I'm
too.
all in there. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love the design of the DS4. Like, I love holding it. I love the button placement. It works. It's PlayStation,
I hate everything about it. I hate everything about it.
The thing I hate about it, and why all of that automatically goes out the window, is because you have to charge it so damn fucking much that it becomes annoying. Like, I just want to throw it across the room where you sit down for more than 2 or 3 hours and all of a sudden it's, oh God, I got to charge it again. So it's like, what's the point? The fuck is the point of the thing being wireless if you have to charge it so damn much?
You can just buy 3 like me, man. So good.
But that's my complaint with the thing, and why I think the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is way better. Because since we all got the Switch, I haven't had to charge that thing one time. Not one time. And I played so much Zelda.
Damn. Well, like I said, I charge mine. If I gotta cook or clean or use the bathroom, I walk up to my system and I plug it in. Like, I usually don't leave. Even when I have to go to work, I just plug it in. That's why mine is constantly whatever charge, and it's the same thing with the DS4, which is like, oh, okay.
Well, the S4, I usually have one constantly charging, and then when the one I'm using dies, I just swap it and just keep going.
But listen to that. Listen to that. It's like you gotta fucking find a system that works.
But this system, for the most part, the way the games are output, the way it handles portably, I think it's a portable system that has a TV connectivity. That's what my take on it. Like, this is gonna be their next 3DS.
Yeah, I mean, even though they don't want to specifically indirectly tell us, but this is the next 3DS.
Like, that's how it feels like. In all honesty.
And who knows? Maybe if this is a goddamn hit, maybe all the other people start doing stuff similar.
And I wouldn't mind if this is the next 3DS, because the biggest problem that I had with the other Nintendo systems is just the fact that, like Smash Brothers, I bought 2 copies, one for the Wii U and one for the 3DS. When now I can just buy 1 copy and I can take it to go or just stay home with it. And then you know what? We're gonna get Xenoblade Chronicles. I know Chicha is excited for that.
Oh yes.
And you're gonna have fun with that, just taking it on the bus, playing it on the way to work.
I gotta have issues trying to come back from lunch from work for that.
And then if they had Tokyo Mirage Sessions 2, Ariel will be bringing his tablet to work all the time now.
Now with the Switch, man, like I just see it as the Switch. I don't see it as either one or the other. I see it as the one device, and I think that's why it's so great, because it's the one device that allows for so many different things, right? You can keep it at home if you just want to use it as a console. Go ahead and do so. But for those people who want to use it as a portable device, you can do that as well. If you want to use them in conjunction as both a portable device and as a home console, you can do that too. Like, it's just the possibilities or the things you can do with it are amazing, like in that sense. And I think that's where the console shines. That's like its golden ticket to what it can be, or the promise of what the Switch can be, right? And that's what I really like about it. That's what draws me in. Seeing, franchises that you normally get on 3DS come to the Switch, where you can dock them and they're gonna look better. You can play them on your TV and not be bogged down by the fact that it's a portable system. Like playing, let's say, Bravely Default exclusively on the 3DS, where you can't connect that to your TV or something like that. That's where it shines in my eyes. But it has a lot of problems, I think. The Switch, at least. It's very bare bones as it is right now. Bare bones as fuck. You go to that store, like I'm sure, like you guys did day one. You just check out the Nintendo store, the e-store,
It was pretty
and there's
sad,
like
actually.
4 or 5 games on there, man. I mean, it's launch, I get it, but you got to pad it in with something like demos. Do something that feels like it's a full experience. Just going to the menu, right? It's again very bare bones. There's nothing on there. It seems like they didn't get there fully, and of course they're going to be developing it over time. We're going to get all the streaming services soon, but that's something I think should have been there from the start. Quite honestly, YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all those services should have been on there from the get-go. Aside from that, though, just like Cheech mentioned, the setting of the controllers on the Joy-Con, the way that the sticks are offset doesn't seem to work very well, because they're not offset in the proper positioning. I don't like how the shoulder buttons work. They're too close together and too small to actually feel like you could get a proper grasp on them. There's a lot of little things, and even the fact that the Pro Controller, I think, is really the best way to play anything on that. I don't know. There's a lot of issues with it, but I see the promise of what it can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, some of the things...
I love the thing. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I'm having a blast with the thing, but it's just... It has its issues.
Well, I just want to say this. Like, nowadays, all right, with this system, does it really need that Netflix and YouTube and Amazon right away? Considering... Well, in our case,
Honestly, I don't need it in there. I mean, we already have freaking 3 devices to do that.
We have our TVs.
Four if we count the TV, yeah.
Yeah, we have the TVs, we have the PCs, and then all the consoles. I mean, having those are good, but I'll forgive them for
See,
the
but this
right off
comes
the gate.
out. The way I'm seeing it is this adds additional functionality to what's otherwise bare bones, right? So you can, aside from just playing Zelda, which is what everybody's doing right now, because there's not much games, you can fill that time in that you have with the Switch to use YouTube while you're on the go. If you want to, you have that option. It's just the things that you're able to do with the Switch right now are very limited, very limited. Again, because there's not much on there, and it's more of an argument of there isn't much on the Switch right now. It's a lot of people are saying it's a glorified Zelda machine right now, and it really is to a certain extent. But my hopes are that over time we see what it can do, and it's shaping up to be something really awesome.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think.
I mean, there's some games where there's not really too many games that are out for it that are specifically for the system. Besides Super Bomberman R, which is getting reviews. 1-2 Switch, which is reviews also.
Should have been packaged in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a demo.
Yeah, that definitely should have been packaged in. Then we have Fast RMX, which is like a Wipeout / F-Zero hybrid, which is supposed to be really good.
Mm-hmm. That actually looks like fun, yeah.
But that was on the Wii U, so that's not specific for that system. So there really isn't too much. We did have some Neo Geo games that came out this week, and Master Blaster Alpha.
Yeah, I mean, just a few games that are coming out. I mean, there's just a lot more games too in the Japanese store that are fully English voice and fully text. I'm guessing we're waiting for rating issues. Maybe it got rated in Japan quicker than it got rated over here. That's why it has to drop.
Because one great thing about it also is that it's region free, so you could create a separate account, and just have access to the Japanese store there. I mean, it's launch. Launch isn't always the best time for a console, but I just think in its core functionality, it's lacking. Even not to say that it's important, but just the resolution of even like the main menu while it's docked. I'm like, they could have increased that. You're not eating up any memory in the process. But it's just little things. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and the amount of what was that? The hard drive on it. Terrible. 32 gigs?
Oh, it's 32. Yeah.
Terrible.
See, that I don't know if I'm going to be downloading too much. So
I mean, but think about it.
But even so, it's like, I mean, if you compare it to a tablet, it makes sense. You normally, if you want to get more memory on there, it's going to cost you more money. Most oftentimes, if you're looking at it from that perspective. But
I think most of us are going to actually buy the cartridge. I mean, the cartridge, you don't need to install jack crap in it.
Yeah.
It just starts and plays. It's faster too. I mean, the cartridges are a little tiny. We were actually having a nice little carry-on case when we used to Switch, and you could just throw the cartridges in there anyway.
Doesn't it have a slot also near the kickstand where you can insert a game?
Oh no, the kickstand is where you can install the SD card, micro cards.
Yeah, the SD card. The SD card.
Yeah, and even I downloaded some games. Most of them, they're indie type, which was Shovel Knight and I Am Setsuna. I Am Setsuna is about close to 2 gigs, and Shovel Knight's not even that much. I think it's like half a gig, maybe a little bit more. And I bought 128. And Cheech is right. If you don't have to install the games, I think you don't need too much memory, unless you really want to go digital. Then you're really screwed.
Well, that's the thing. I think the memory is more for those kind of, takeaway games, like, the smaller games, the quick experiences that you want to have, easy to access and on the go. Meanwhile, you keep your base game or the cartridge in the unit the entire time. In this case, that game is going to be Zelda, or later on you're going to have another game. So I think it's going to be a case of you're going to want the physical copies of these games. And then, the smaller games you'll get the digital version for, and you have more than enough space for that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, imagine how many, let's say, virtual console games you can fit on that thing, if you want to go that route,
Yeah, when they open up the virtual console store. Which
yeah.
I mean, they'll do it. Hopefully they'll do it.
That's another thing that we didn't said. They don't even have online ready to go day one. The hell?
Yeah, they should have had it for, I think, Super Bomberman would have been a good online game to play.
Hmm.
But
It's just a lot of weird decisions,
Get
but
Mario
overall,
Kart, eh, bro?
yeah,
oh, Mario Kart, yeah.
that's right. Yeah. So that's end of April is when Mario Kart's coming out. So maybe that's when the online will come out.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm probably gonna pick it up since I never got it for Wii U, anyways.
I was thinking about that. I might actually do a trade in with mine with the Wii U, and then just
Mhm.
pick up the Switch version
Of
of Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. Oh, it came with my console, so it's like pre-installed. Fucking garbage.
Like no. Oh well, you know what? Since it's account based, maybe they'll allow you to put it on the Switch. We'll see. Probably not though.
Another issue, since you're talking about accounts, friend codes still exist.
You know what? It's not too
God
bad
damn it, Nintendo.
because
But it's a soft Franco thing because you still have recent players and all that stuff. You can just add them.
yeah.
Oh, recent players, yes. So if you're taking that route, I'm assuming, let's say you're playing Splatoon, let's say. But if you still have to add a friend, there's the quickest way to do it is with the friend code.
Yeah, it's still not too bad.
But I mean, it's the same thing as me. I mean, because if you have to add a friend, it's like you already know him. It's the same thing of me asking you for your gamer ID.
Yeah, gamer
Yeah,
ID
but
or
that's
email.
so much easier. What's your gamer ID? Whatever your name is.
And
Okay, cool.
That's because us we're a little smart, but there's people that say, "Oh, my gamer ID is XXY capital B B B 34567 8." And so, what the heck are you thinking, my dude? Like, just give me the number or something. I mean, not all of us are. Not everybody's like that.
Oh, man.
But
I don't know. I've just never been a fan of friend codes. So, what's your friend code? 0257764. Like, what the fuck are you saying?
I'm gonna change my expose ID on purpose and be like Dink 511567888X capital B.
It's true though. You're right.
so Cheech, if you had to recommend the system to somebody, would it be a yes, wait, or no?
No, of course, yes.
And is it just because of Zelda, or is it?
Actually, no. It depends what you want to do. To be honest, it's hard to say a yes or no answer answer on this. Because obviously, I mean, I wanted to play Zelda the best possible way I could do it, and I also wanted to enjoy a portable system. If you want to enjoy a portable system that gives you some decent quality, but you're willing to pretty much bet on Nintendo that will bring games to the system, then go for it. If you're not willing to bet on it yet, wait until the library is a little bigger. This year alone, I'm not gonna get. I was gonna use it because I got Zelda, I got Xenoblade coming up. Those two titles alone, I want them, and not to mention Mario. So that was enough for me to warrant it and just say, hey, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it right away.
No Fire Emblem Warriors.
I haven't played a single one, so.
But
maybe I'll play my first one.
Yeah, I'm excited for Warrior, but then again, I like those Musou type games.
yeah,
I never play a Warrior either.
it's a Muso type game, so it's not bad. It's just like just go around.
Although, judging from Dragon Quest Heroes 2 and its performance on Switch, it's kind of sketchy, man.
Yeah.
Well, that was just straight through port. That was.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably they just threw it in there. Rushing.
But I'm sure they were pressed for time with that.
Yeah, they just threw it. I mean, you could clearly tell. I mean, the PS Vita looks better, and this thing is stronger than a PS Vita.
Yeah, the Vita has a different art style to it. Not game changing, but it's like you see a lot of the softer textures and
yeah, you do.
how they optimize.
They scaled it
frame
back quite a bit on Vita.
Yeah.
So they definitely just did a quick straight port to this. I mean they did said it's easy to port on this thing, so they probably did a quick easy port and didn't bother of optimizing it or doing anything with it.
Yeah. Ariel.
And to an extent, they even did it with Zelda because it's not even using the full capacity of the game. It's more of a port to Switch than anything else.
Yeah, so that's definitely a port.
Oh, it's a switch from the Wii U. It's not actually.
Yeah, the port. It is port to Wii U.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds.
They just increased the resolution a little bit, and that's it. I mean, because the same masses are there, everything is the same. I mean, obviously they couldn't really improve the game too much because they still have the Wii U, and this game was originally coming out for Wii U only. So
But the performance, for instance, they could have definitely gotten done a lot better had they focused. I guess had some more time, because the grass, man, destroys that game.
Yeah.
Destroys it.
Yeah, when you go to the grass area, and then it happens to me a lot when you're in grass and there's a lot of foliage and a lot of trees at the same time.
I mean, it plays well in portable mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, to an extent.
It's the increased resolution for sure, with all that stuff going on.
Mhm.
It seems like they didn't get time to iron it out.
But yeah. All right. Ariel, yes or wait? No.
I guess to that I would ask, do you have a Wii U? If yes, then just get it on that. If you don't, then by all means, because I think, well, it depends on what type of person you are. But if you're willing to buy the newest to play something, then go for it, man. Because I think the game, Zelda in itself is worth the Switch. I think that game is fantastic, man. Like, it sucks me in so much so that I can't even fall asleep because I'm like, I need to do some more stuff in this game. Like, I can't stop playing. It's just that good. And there's also the promise of what's to come. Like, we know at least, at a minimum, Nintendo's going to deliver on their end. So it's worth it just for that. But, yeah, I guess it depends. It's tough to say. Overall, though, I guess if you're on the fence, I'd say wait. If you're on the fence as to whether or not you should buy this system just for the one game, then you may as well just wait and see what else comes out and kind of gauge your interest then. But overall, I'm glad I got it. I'm enjoying my time with Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda's great. I would recommend the Switch if you're a gamer, just to experience Zelda. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably are a gamer, and we have our preferences, but we don't try to discriminate against who makes the games. But Nintendo's gonna be Nintendo. You know what games they're gonna make. Get it, because you know what Nintendo are gonna make those type of games. If you're looking something for a powerhouse, no, absolutely not. But if you're looking for a good portable system, yes, that's my recommendation.
Well, here's the funny thing, right? It's not a powerhouse at all, but Zelda is a beautiful fucking game, man.
It's all.
There's times where I'm just like standing. I'm like, this game, it looks amazing. Like, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yo, imagine this shit on PC though. Imagine this shit on PC, 4K, 60 frames. Oh my god.
Well, you had that Zelda Expire type of game with almost like same art style coming up for PC and PS4.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, I heard about it. Something, Udall or something like that.
Udall's a weird ass name.
Yeah. I think it's an Australian made game or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like it's for what they're working with, man. The game looks great. It's just resolution isn't up to current standards, as well as even.
I mean, they picked the right stuff for this thing.
Yeah,
and the thing is, because there's a lot of stuff played in this game. I mean, you have this huge open world with a lot of things going on in it. Not to mention, there's a lot of physics and so on. Like, the grass moves everywhere, and you hit something, things just keeps moving. Like, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of technical stuff in this game for this little system.
There are, but it looks great nonetheless. But yeah, the only shortcomings again is just resolution and performance for the most part, and that's it. But it's a great looking game. The style works for it.
Yep. So since we're talking about it, let's talk about Zelda and
Goaty.
Oh
no! For the first time, I got a battery warning. It says my battery's running low.
Oh no!
Turn the shit off.
Yeah, I think we were right with our prediction because we predicted our first show of the year that Zelda's gonna be game of the year, and yeah, I think it's gonna be game of the year.
Seems to be the case. I mean, based on critical reception, at least. Just forgetting the fact that we love the game. Just based on critical reception.
Overall critical reception.
No, you know what's gonna be game of the year, guys?
Persona 5.
Overwatch 2.
You mean Destiny?
What is?
Overwatch 2.
Overwatch is gonna win it again somehow.
Yep.
So yeah, Zelda. This is the thing about Zelda. It's they were able to recreate the magic and the feel of Zelda, of playing Zelda 1 into a 3D world. That's my biggest takeaway into it.
Hmm.
The fact that in Zelda 1, there's all these little secrets, all these hidden areas. You push a tree, you find some stairs. You can, technically in that game, you can actually just go straight to Ganon right after you get your sword. Or not even, I don't think you don't even need your sword. I think you can actually go straight to him.
Hmm.
And Zelda Breath of the Wild, you have that amazing feeling every time you climb a mountain and you're looking around and you notice a pattern of stones and you're like, oh, if I go here and I put a stone in this area and pops out a little guy who gives you a little,
Korok.
yeah, gives me an acorn. And it's just an amazing just sight just to see. And the shrines in it, all the different activities in the shrines in terms of the puzzles, or if it's combat. Combat is, it's just standard. That's not really anything to brag about. But some of the puzzles and how you can tackle them, because I've tackled some puzzles to try to get a treasure chest a different way. And I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can make an ice pillar here, and then I can do it like this, or I can freeze this, use the time stopper on this, and then use a grenade here, and then beat the puzzle that way. It's just really well done. The only complaint I do have is if you're doing tablet mode, doing some of the motion controls is terrible on it. It's really bad. I felt like I felt like I was gonna drop my system, turning it upside down. I was just like, ugh. At one point, I'm like, fuck this. Pause the game, and I took out my Pro Controller from my book bag, and I actually had to do it with the Pro Controller. And even then, it was a little washy because the fact that if you move too fast for it to register, you can actually overdo it, say on a controller. Say you have it flat, right? And if you go up too fast, the game doesn't register it going at that speed. It'll actually go at a slower speed, so if you try to do it flat again, it's actually going to be not even. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, I find that like the motion controllers. I mean, I turned them off for general use, but they still work their way into shrines for just a certain challenges. And when those occur, I hate it because the motion controls don't work well in that game. It's either too sensitive or just doesn't register it the way that you want it to. Like Greg was kind of mentioning, I don't know, it's off-putting. And again, I don't like that they're there. Like, let me just use the right stick to control this little platform and be on my way.
Oh yeah, I remember you yelling about the 3 balls.
Yeah, because it's like, what the fuck? And then you have to like act as though you're playing golf in one of them, and to try to hit the ball in a certain way. It was terrible.
Oh, the golf one. Yes.
Yeah.
That was fun. Actually, it was easy the first time because they give you the sledgehammer. They tell you.
Yeah.
But to get the hidden
there's
chest,
one in the back that kind of curves around.
That was the hard one.
Yeah. I'm like, oh god, here we go.
I actually did enjoy that shrine though, because I was just like, oh, if you do it like this, that's fine. But getting that secondary chest was a pain. That was a real pain. But yeah, I really enjoyed the game. Is it perfect? No, but it has that magic, which is why it's up there as one of the best games.
Highly praised, yeah.
Yeah. Right, Cheech? Well, what do you think of Zelda?
It's amazing. It's game of the year.
See,
well, we don't know what else is coming.
I don't think anything else could really come to kind of, because it's like Greg said, magic, man. For something to kind of recreate that same feeling that you get playing Zelda, it's the same sort of feelings I had playing The Witcher, and I think that's similar to why The Witcher was so well received, also because you completely lose yourself in these worlds while you're playing. And they're able to kind of encapsulate that perfectly to where it's like, here's this small little cartridge now, but here's this massive world that you can just explore whichever way you want to. there's nothing in particular telling you what exactly you have to do. You just kind of go and do it as you go. It's great, man. But my thing is, could something else top it this year? It's possible, but it's going to be damn hard, I think.
I think there is one game. There's one game that can top it this year.
What game is that?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, well, it's the similar type of thing, though, right? Because that's what Rockstar does best. They create these huge open worlds that you lose yourself in. So long as they could do that well, yeah, they could probably be up there also. But I'm pretty sure Zelda's gonna get Game of the Year though.
Yeah, I agree with you, Zelda. Right now it's the game with the most hundreds ever. Yeah, I mean, totally agree. Here's the weird part, because I'm gonna bring up this argument before we close out. There's a lot of things that Horizon does well.
I saw this coming.
There's a lot of things, and it's really upsetting. It's really upsetting. There's a lot of things that Horizon does well. And, alright, with Zelda, that's our artistic style, the freedom. I actually do like the music in Zelda, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple, but it's very calm. You know, you're exploring, you're finding stuff. It goes well with it. It's like a trance, a certain type of trance, melody where you just lose yourself while exploring the world. And the worst part of it, the voice acting and the cutscenes are really good too. But the combat is very simple. There's no going around that. Right now, the combat, I haven't fought any bosses yet, so Cheech, you know this more than I do, and Ariel, you kind of know. Are the bosses a little bit more complex where you have to think about it? Does it? Are they?
None of the point you are right now. Once you level up so much and whatnot, they're you just steamroll them.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like Dark Souls. We're not getting that. Not at all.
If you go out there in the game without powering up and you try it, then yeah, you have a Dark Souls in your hand because it's fucking hard. No hearts and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start getting all your shit,
So, and then now you look at Horizon, right? Not the same type of exploration like Zelda, but combat's great, looks great, music's great. I know the biggest complaint about it were the side quests. And for us, I know our biggest complaints were the facial animations and sometimes the voice acting. And but the main storyline so far has been pretty good. So where I think all of us are at the same point now, which is
way ahead of you guys.
No. Yeah.
Well, you're way ahead, but we passed the pinnacle of the storyline where it turns, I would say, dark, and actually gets pretty good.
Where it gets good. That's where I consider the turning point in that game.
It
got good.
It got good.
It gets gooder.
I mean,
you're past phase 1.
Yeah, we passed phase 1. So I'm not saying this game needs to get perfect scores, but the fact that Zelda has a legacy and Horizon's a new IP,
you think plays into Zelda's favor?
Yes, exactly. It does, because that's the thing. We always go back to saying this makes us feel like we're playing the first Zelda ever. Right?
To a certain, I mean, I get what you're saying.
I honestly never felt that way. For me, I was like, it just feels like a good game. That's all I thought. This is a good game. And I mean, it's new in a way because Zelda has never been like this. For the exception of the first Legend of Zelda, which was just a blocky crap and everywhere is massive open world of discovery, which I never played anyways. So I can't even relate to it.
Okay.
I mean,
that's valid.
I think the downside here is you cannot climb a goddamn mountain on Horizon.
No, but the combat is a lot better.
Yes, I know.
The combat is great.
See, here's what I think the biggest takeaway of why Zelda, I think, is being considered so great. And even though Horizon's reviewing great, And from what I played of it, once you get to that turning point, I'm like, this is awesome, man. The biggest difference, though, I think, is like the spectacle, right? Like, not even just the level of exploration and the fact that everything in Zelda serves a purpose, right? Everything you're doing serves one purpose, and that's to get you towards Ganon. Every side quest you're doing, you get something that serves a purpose towards Ganon and completing your quest. Whereas with Horizon and even The Witcher, you have a lot of things that are thrown in there for the sake of being there, and they don't really serve a purpose per se. It's like, let's throw in a side quest here and have you do this for no reason other than to have you do something. Whereas in Zelda, whatever you're doing is going to get you somewhere within the game. Let's say you're doing shrines, you're going to get a heart or a stamina gauge for it. You do side quests, you may get items that you can use in a particular area, gear that you can find. Like, everything you're doing serves something to kind of get you somewhere and has some sort of meaning within that. And unfortunately, with games like Horizon or even Witcher, which did it really well, but then they had a whole lot of treasure nonsense that it was just there. And if you're a completionist and you want to do it, where you're like, well, God, I have all this crap to do all over the map. So I think that's where the disconnect lies. Well, not so much the disconnect, but the differences lie within these two games. Is one, everything that you're doing kind of seems to push you towards one particular place, whereas the other one, you have a lot of disconnected pieces that don't all seem to kind of gel together perfectly. Does that make any sense?
No, that makes a lot of sense actually.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You're saying Horizon, the side quests, having an abundance of side quests is more of a downfall than and is more considered busy work than.
Yeah, because once you have busy work, don't get me wrong, it's fun. The Horizon is fun. Roaming around and exploring is all cool, especially coming upon a herd of the robots or whatever it is, and kind of picking them apart whichever way you want to, because that's Horizon's thing. It's more combat focused, right? It hones in on combat and does it really well. But it's just everything else around it it just doesn't gel as well, and you kind of get that slight disconnect where although you're in there and you're invested, all these little side quest things don't necessarily bring you to a greater whole. What saved The Witcher in that sense is that their side quests were really fucking good, man. They were like individual stories that you had, but on the side you had all that nonsense treasure hunting that was completely useless, and it was just there for the sake of being there.
Yeah. Because the stories on the side quests were actually
really good. So, but imagine all those stories were kind of broken up in a way which didn't really matter, and then you have all that collecting to do. I'm sure that would have set The Witcher back, some at least.
No,
maybe I think it would be better to have The Witcher without showing you all the collectible stuff on the map, and then you discover them as you go.
That would have been much better.
Sometimes I will open my map, I'm like, what the fuck is all this shit? And I just cleaned this. Why is it here again?
I think there's something to be said about discovering, as opposed to collecting. There's a big difference between the two. And how you actually feel towards it while you're playing.
That's why I think Zelda did good. It's all about this. They don't really tell you what to do. I mean, there's not much hand-holding either. I mean, they give you a set of picture that you have to collect, and you have to just look at it by, hey, this is a picture. Where the heck is this place? Let me go see it. For like Horizon, once you climb up something and you discover the map, it tells you the points that, hey, maybe this is here, Go ahead there and find it, discover it.
And it becomes a collectathon.
And it's like why not just don't show me anything? Let me just explore the map and hey, I stumble into something. Damn, this is good. Let me go through it. Let me do it instead. I mean, I think that's what Zelda did. Like it kind of
leaves the exploration
forces you to
player,
explore. Yeah. It's like, let me see. I see a little hole in that corner. Let me see what that is. And hey, oh shit, look, there's something here. You just give me discovery.
And you're right. That on top of that, with how Zelda handles the side quest and the exploration, that it does pertain to the overall greater good, and that it does help you in the long run. And I guess I can see how in Horizon, if you're already stocked up on weapons and already stocked up on items, and you do a side quest, and all it does is just give you more of the same item that you don't need, that's more of a waste of time than an actual, to the greater end game.
Yeah, because to an extent, what you're telling the player when you put all those markers on the map is like, here's a bunch of crap, man. Like, like it's, and when you see it on the map, I kind of feel like it's discouraging to an extent, because you're like, damn, do I want to travel all this crap, man? Not really. Like, I just want to go to that point. I don't want to go all the way down there just to check out what could possibly be there. I don't know. Don't get me wrong.
It's good. It's good.
I like collecting stuff, but I like it when it's not all over the place and in your face. When it's left to you or the player to discover it, like, I feel we just discussed, that's when it's best, because it gives you that kind of freedom to just go about it whichever way you want. And when you stumble upon something, you actually feel like you discovered something, and then you want to talk about it, as opposed to, seeing it on the map and like, oh, somebody probably went there, I'm sure, because it's on the map. I mean, they're gonna find it.
Yeah.
It's just discovery. That's what Zelda does best, is discovery and exploration in an open world.
Mm-hmm.
And, I gotta say also, is the fact that all three of our gameplays are probably totally different.
Completely different, I'm sure.
I mean, there's shrines that you guys are doing now that I already did. Like, were one of my first shrines, and this is one of your last shrines. It's just interesting. I mean, it's like,
or even the way we approach them.
It's one of the reviewers says. I mean, the moment you jump off that plateau, it's like that's your experience starts different. If you took a left turn, you could take a right turn. If you went north, south, that's it. That's just everybody's point from there on. It's just different.
I think actually when you jump off the plateau, the first point is you do have to go to the village, and then after that, that's when it's like you can do anything.
That's if you went there. I didn't went there. I just started running around exploring. I'm like, ooh, what's this? Oh shit! I died.
Actually, the first thing I did was when I got out of the resurrection shrine, I jumped off the cliff to see if there's such thing as fall damage. That was my first experience with the game. Just jumping off the cliff. It's like, oh, okay, I can die by falling.
You were waiting for that Dark Souls achievement. You died.
See, my first thing I did once we you leave that first area, and you're supposed to head past the dual peaks.
Yes.
I looked at those peaks and I'm like, I'm climbing that motherfucker. I was like, I'm climbing that, and I'm going to see how far up I can go. And lo and behold, there's 2 shrines that I really enjoyed, and it's wonderful, man.
Oh yeah, those were pretty good.
That try was a lot easier for me because I did it after the fact. Though you get a little camera as a thing, yeah. So I just took the pictures. I'm like, kick, and
I actually ended up taking screenshots with the game, because you can like use that screenshot button.
Yeah.
That.
Instead of
so you used the actual screenshot.
Yeah, actually used the actual screenshots, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna use this. And then I went back, and oh man, it was great.
Bastards, I drew it. I took out my phone.
Oh, look at this guy drew.
I was just like,
so see, like we all had 3 different experiences. This is what this game does to you.
Yeah, that's
like we all did that differently.
So.
You understand now, Greg? You understand, man?
No, I understand. I'm just tossing that argument out there because, Horizon. Just because Horizon. We got the
but that, it's not to discount. Horizon's great, man. Like I was rough on it at first because I felt like the start is slow. I'm
enjoying it. I'm playing it now. While you guys play Zelda, I'm definitely gonna go back to Zelda. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the story. It is definitely challenging. Like they send me to a quest that it says level 10 required, and then when I get to the final thing, it's like level 18. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I playing? Like Dark Souls here? I mean, I beat it, but man, I died so many times. It was freaking insane.
But once you get past that point, though, that's where that one particular point, and for anybody who ends up playing this game, you will know what point this is. That game takes a turn for like the better, because all those moments that were crammed into this one section, I was like, "Yo, what is happening? What is happening?"
I think that's fine because it's a new IP. They kind of had to build on it.
Yeah.
I mean, they could that game could definitely be Sony's Zelda. I definitely will love some Horizon 2 and have it a lot more open and more explorable. But it's there. They build a foundation.
I think considering it's a new IP, and they clearly had a vision of what they wanted this game to be, and I think that's why you see so many of these different sort of open world systems in the game. Until they find the balance that they're looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great game nonetheless. I can't wait to get back to it. But
Zelda.
first, gotta Zelda.
Yep. So, yeah. Thank you again for joining us, everybody. We did want to. Oh, actually, I wanted to talk about it, but we'll have a lot of time to talk about Scorpio in our next. And
there's not much to talk about Scorpio.
Well, there was an episode that we had earlier, but we ended up couldn't put it out, and it was pretty much about how Scalebound
because Cheech messed up,
Listen, that episode never happened. I don't want to talk about it.
It was all about how Scalebound got canceled and.
Yeah, we went in on that one, man.
Yeah, it was supposed to be probably one of the best podcast episodes ever, and someone forgot to hit record, or his mic wasn't recording. His PS4 controller was recording instead.
I'll take the blame for that one. So yeah, and we'll talk about Scorpio, and the reason why these two games are important is because Microsoft needs a game like this. Needs a game to compete with everything.
Microsoft right now needs Jesus.
Because if the way they're going, and as gamers, not as not everyone can get a PC and people get consoles, but as I'm gonna consider us hardcore gamers because we have almost everything. Just because there's games that we want to play on that system.
Mm-hmm.
You mean almost everything, or we have everything?
I got my Xbox, so you guys are alone in that front.
Okay. Yeah, you sold your Xbox, but I was just saying almost because I was trying to count like older systems like 3DO and all that shit, but yeah. What's the point of getting a Scorpio if Ariel, you're gonna get a 1080 Ti, and how games are slowly getting better to be optimized for Windows 10. You really don't need it. You don't need a Scorpio anymore.
Depends. Yeah. They were going better. Now they're going backwards. So let's see what happens after.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. As for me, I actually think I might get a Scorpio because I'm having a better time just playing on the TV than next to my computer.
Yeah. I mean, you guys called it. I was going back and forth. I'm going more consoles lately. I mean, I've been having a lot of weird health issues with my back, carpal tunnel, computer. It doesn't work out anymore. Like.
Cheech, you could just say it. You're getting old, man.
I am getting old. I mean, it is what it is. I just don't have I mean, responsibilities in life are hitting to the point where, like, I cannot be affording to spend $1,000 something every 2 years upgrading my crap. And I enjoy the fact that I like upgrading and keep up to date, but I just can't do that anymore. I mean, I gotta pay rent, man. Car, and everything.
It's expensive. There comes a time pricey for all of us where we're just like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah, but my golden time is kind of coming to an end. I'd rather spend $1,400 on a vacation somewhere than just spend it to stay home.
Man, that's what I'm doing. I gotta save.
Well, Greg, you just stay balling though.
Yeah, I mean, Greg will never change. He'll probably bowling like, it's like, yeah, guys. Like next thing you know, tomorrow's gonna be like, I bowled at 1080. What's up, fuckers?
I was thinking about it, kind of. No, I can't. I shouldn't. No, but the Switch was a birthday present, so that's the only reason why I got the Switch.
Oh, Switch! I really wanted it, so I bought it.
Yeah. So.
And then Scorpio, like, I mean, I've been saying this a few times. It's like I will get it day one, depending on what they show. If they have any like new titles that might take advantage of the system, the third-party support, the lineup for that. If anything that I want might be coming to Xbox Scorpio with 4K support, I'll be getting it. But it just depends what they have. I mean, right now Sony has hands down the best lineup possibly this year. I mean, we don't know what the heck Microsoft is doing right now. I mean, I come from a heavy Microsoft fanboy here, and I've been playing my freaking PS4 like nonstop. So,
Oh, I mean, here's the thing with Microsoft. Hardware-wise, they're shaping up to be in a really good position. That's all going to come down to pricing. I believe that if it's more than $400, that's DOA. I honestly think it's going to be DOA because you're going to have, although the Pro is not going to be as good as Scorpio, Scorpio is clearly going to be better on their hardware front. It's going to be able to deliver, I guess, closer to a 4K experience than anybody would want right now, especially if you have a 4K, set or TV, you're going to be in a good place for Scorpio. Pricing is going to be the biggest factor, though, because although for us enthusiasts and people, of that ilk, they're all going to be into that idea, there's a vast majority of people who don't care, who just don't care.
Well,
and what they're going to look at is what does it offer different than
well,
the
but I
current
mean,
Xbox One that
but
I have.
I think Microsoft is positioning this up pretty well on that. I mean, Bill Spencer already said it. I mean, this is not a console for everybody, and they're not expecting this console to be flying off the shelf either. This is being sold as a premium console. So I mean, Microsoft themselves is already pretty much saying it. If you don't need the stuff that this thing is going to offer, don't buy it. That's what we have the S for.
But that's kind of where I'm trying to get to.
But
It's,
did I just got the same ambulance just behind me and I got it over there? Are you stalking me somewhere around here?
I have a firehouse up the block, so they're always coming through. But they're positioning themselves into this place where they want people to be talking about Scorpio, but Scorpio is not a thing on its own. It's tied to Xbox One S. And I don't know if it's going to be enough of a push to get them where they need to be. They're doing good. They're doing fine.
What Microsoft needs is just new IPs and games. That's what they need.
That's the biggest thing.
If Microsoft could release the biggest, best, crazy goddamn console in the world, but if they don't have the library to support it, it's DOA no matter what.
You know what this reminds
games.
me of, honestly? Xbox versus PlayStation 2. That's what this reminds me of.
that's
Basically, I mean, they're just being murdered right now. Sony has just a great library, and they're pumping out games up the ass this year. I mean, you just cannot sugarcoat this anymore.
yeah.
And
pretty much.
Microsoft either shows the same old Forza, Gears, and Halo. And I mean, hey, yeah, we got Crackdown, but it's not a new IP. I mean, we need to see new IPs, and Scalebound was just that. And it just
I think that's why Scalebound was such, even though it may not have been the greatest game ever, but it was Microsoft thinking in a different direction.
Yeah.
And that's what was exciting about Scalebound. And then they took that shit away from us. That's what was exciting, because it was like they could possibly be going in a different direction. And hopefully the E3 this year, we see that direction.
Yeah,
If we get Halo 6, Forza, and Gears, whatever, all in one E3, it's going to be like, well, it's the same old freaking Microsoft.
Yeah, and counting on Phil. Phil did say that this year they're going to do things differently. It's going to be a different Microsoft. There's not going to be a Halo or Forza or Gears. I at this point, I need to see it to believe it, because we already heard enough. We need actions at this point for Microsoft.
Oh, that's weird.
No Forza this year. Yeah, I mean they have. I mean, normally Halo, Forza, they're 3 years game releases. I don't know why for Xbox they did one back to back. They shouldn't have done that. But the Halo is just 3-year IP normally, and same with Gears.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Maybe they do have something new, and hopefully,
I'm hoping.
they need it.
And they also need Japan,
they need it.
man. They need Japan. They need to snatch
Yep.
up Japan. They need them.
Snatch up Japan.
I mean, because there are games that for PS4 that currently they're only on console, but they're on PC too. I mean, they lost that third-party support. If you think about like Nier and all those games, like, hey,
Yep.
you could have had that,
And
but
what
you
a blow
don't.
that is. By the way, just what a blow. No Scalebound. Meanwhile, Nier is reviewing high on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Made by the same people.
From the same people.
So it's like,
Why didn't you just let them do what they were doing before
Yeah,
shoving Microsoft down their throat,
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it more in our next episode, which I hope either next week or the week after. But we're gonna keep it at at least 2 weeks. All right, so
We're gonna try, guys.
we're gonna try.
We're gonna try.
Remember, gaming first and foremost.
Yeah.
But I
podcast.
mean, Mass Effect week ain't happening. I'm just letting you guys know.
That is in 2 weeks. All right, so next week we'll be back. We'll be back. So
We'll try.
Next week we'll talk.
No promises.
There's some stuff we can talk about with Microsoft, and then there's some other games that we should talk about, like Middle Earth, Shadow War.
We can talk more about Horizon, get more into detail once you guys get into it a little more too.
But thanks again for listening to us. Don't forget to subscribe, like us on iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, and you can reach us at Twitter, ICTOPLAY, or email us at insertcointp@gmail.com. I'll start checking again regularly. Yeah, because that's my fault. I haven't been checking those. But I've been paying for the service, so we got to put the service to use. Thanks again, everybody.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.